All right, wanted to get into a bit of a high level overview on getting your WWPass authentication set up inside of Azure B2C Active Directory, um, and also sort of a broad overview on configuring all of that in WWPass as well. A couple of sort of things to get started. Before you get started, it's recommended that you have your application sort of up and running in Azure. Also, the next thing you'll need is a WWPass developer account. And I'm going to show you sort of how to get that set up if you don't have one already. It's very simple. You just go into our website here, www.pass.com, and head over to login. You're going to download the WWPass key app, as you see on the directions displayed on the screen here. Enter the app, going to scan the QR code and approve the login. There will be a few other things you have to do, just entering some information. Very, very quick and easy. But once you're in, the way that you add new integrations is by or sort of setting up new applications within WWPass. We've already done this for our test application here, but you would go up here to add a new application. Follow the instructions here. Enter your domain name. Follow this all the way through. Generate your keys. Get the certificate, and then you'll have to configure some server files in your application. But once that's all done, you're going to head over into Azure. Excuse me. So once you're in Azure, the important thing to note here, you're going to want to actually go over to the AD B2C and register the app. If you haven't already, like I said, it's recommended you already sort of have this done like we have here. And I'll show you, this is the application that we have stood up here on our Azure B2C client here. So coming back over into Azure, once you have this set up, the next step is to add an identity provider. You won't have this OpenID Connect integration set up. You'll have to add that, but it's very simple. I'll show you sort of the fields that we configured here. We named it WWPass. But in order to do it, you just hit new. And as you can see, it's the same fields here. But once that's all configured, you're going to need to set up a user flow. So a user flow, important to note, you will need this. You will need the user flow to be the same name as it's configured in your web application. It needs to point to this user flow in Azure in order to communicate. But can't really do that here on this video, but or show you how that's done. But what I can do is show you what it looks like to set up a new user flow. You're going to want to select sign up, sign in. The version recommended is just fine. Once you create, you'll name it here. Like I said, make sure that's the same name in your application's configuration files, but you'll just select that identity provider that we just created and then create, right? Not all of these are super important, but you can set all this up to your liking. So, and that's all I really have to show you in Azure, but I do also want to show you what it looks like to use once it's set up. So we're going to go back in. This is just a normal sign-in button, right? So the way that would work, you just, if you haven't configured it, it would just be like a normal sign-in email registration sort of process, but I'm going to show you what it looks like to authenticate using WWPass. So same thing as before. We're going to go to our WWPass key application on the cell phone here, scan the QR code, approve the login, enter the biometrics. As you can see, this is a sort of a test account. It's not it's not made to look production ready or very pretty, but in your application, this would mean that the user has sort of authenticated and has logged into their account. But just kind of wanted to show you how easy it was, how straightforward the process is. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Also, there's plenty of, excuse me, I got some hiccups. Plenty of documentation overall on our website. You can, if you can't find the answer, I should mention, always feel free to reach out at support@wwpass.com. Thanks for watching.